Hello friends, I hope you're all safe and healthy. In my previous two videos, I have received some comments, some queries from the viewers through comments. I have made a list of all those comments, so I thought today I'll try and answer as many as possible to the best of my knowledge. So before proceeding further, I'd like to make one clarification. In my first video, in my initial video, I had told that Tata expects us to keep this key, the key in that location, which I had pointed out there in the corner. It expects us to keep this key over there at all times, which I had told in the video, which is not right. A lot of people have corrected me in the comments, and I want to make this point as well. Those who have corrected me, they are absolutely right, and I have read in the manual also. We need not keep this key in that location all the time. We can have it anywhere we want. We can keep it in our pocket. Only when the battery of this key dies, and before we replace it with a new battery, the only way to access the car is through this physical key. That is, we'll have to push this knob, take the physical key out, use that key in the door and enter in the car. When we do that, if we want to turn on the car in those time, then we'll have to keep this key in that location. Only then the car will be able to communicate with this key through RFID and know that we are the genuine owner, and then it will turn on. But if the battery is fine and if the remote key is working, then you not keep it there. So I want to thank everybody who has corrected me in the comments, and that was one clarification I wanted to make. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to say is I chose this time to make this video because as you can see, it's raining. You could have also seen in the initial part of the video, it's raining in my location. I wanted to test the wipers of this car. So that's why I chose this time. Anyway, so proceeding with the questions, the first and most of the people have asked me this question. Number one, that is my booking date, my waiting period, and my delivery. How long it took, and I'll just club all these questions together and try and summarize what happened when I started, and how was my Tata experience as well with respect to my booking. So bear with me, it will be a little bit longer answer as I'll try and cover everything. Okay, so I initially started testing the vehicles. I had shortlisted, one was Nexon, the other was Sonnet. So those were the two that I had shortlisted out of the SUVs that I wanted to purchase. So I started test driving in January. Here I'd like to talk something about Tata's service experience. I had test driven the Nexon twice. One was the AMT version, the other was the manual version, and both I test drove them at different dealerships in different cities. The AMT version I test drove in the same showroom where I purchased this car. The manual variant I had test driven in another city. That's a tier 3 city. The one where I purchased, it's a tier 2 city. It's a bigger city. Now, why I'm saying this is the first time when I test drove the AMT variant in my showroom where I booked this vehicle, the experience was not very good. Probably it was because it was a Saturday when I test drove, and I think they had a lot of bookings. I'm not very sure, but the person who accompanied me with the test drive, he was not very enthusiastic. He was not answering my questions. He was in a lot of hurry. He wanted to get it finished and move on to the next customer. The experience was very bad. I could not drive I could not get the feel of the car very well. The car didn't even shift to the fourth gear. You can imagine. I just drove around 1 or 2 kilometers and then immediately had to come back. So I was not very confident. I did not feel very confident. But in the second showroom where I test drove, the experience was very good. The person who accompanied me was very polite. He explained me whatever I wanted to understand. I could drive for about 6 or 7 kilometers. I drove it on a highway. I drove it within the city. He explained a lot of things. He did not try to oversell it at any point. He was very polite. He was very clear with what he was saying. He also gave some tidbits of how to maintain this car, how to drive this car and all. So I genuinely feel the experience lies a lot in the hands of the dealerships and the person who accompanies us, the person who is with us with our delivery process, the dealer. So Tata does have the capacity to make very good vehicles. They have proven. Nexon is also a very good product, but I think the overall experience, a major portion of that lies in the hands of the dealership and the person who accompanies us. Okay, so the first thing, my booking date. So I booked this vehicle in February 15th of this year. So when I booked this vehicle, initially I was told that the waiting period was 2 months. So they told me by first week of April we'll let you know. When once the car gets allotted to the showroom, we will let you know. You can start arranging for the finances, and by the second week of April, once all the financing is done, you can take the delivery of the vehicle. So that was what was informed to me, and I booked my vehicle on 15th February. uh, in the first week of April, I called my showroom and I asked them on the status because they did not give me any call. Now the dealer told me at that point, that is the first week of April, that because of the lockdown situation and COVID situation in Maharashtra and their plants in Maharashtra, the manufacturing has reduced. So the waiting period has gone ahead. The waiting period is now minimum 3 months. So they told me that delivery in April would be highly difficult. We can try and get you a delivery by May second week or third week. I was a little upset, but then one thing that they told me was initially, here I want to make a clarification. My initial choice was not the XZ Plus dual tone variant. Mine was the XZ Plus standard variant. That was the choice, and with that I had booked the vehicle. Flame red was the color. Color was not different. It was flame red. XZ Plus standard variant. But they told me one thing, that the flame red and foliage green are very high in demand. If you probably go for silver or grey or white, we can somehow try and get the vehicle delivered to you by end of April, at least by the end of April. That would be around 10 or 11 weeks. I told them I'll get back to them. I did not. I was a little busy with my work, so I could not get back to them. What happened was, after a week, my dealer called me back and he informed me that a dual tone variant, XZ Plus dual tone variant, has been booked to the showroom. So if you want, we can book it for you and we can lock it for you if you want to proceed further. The price difference was around 20,000, so I thought I'll go ahead with that because I was not very sure. If I miss this opportunity, I don't know when I would get the car next. So I told him to allot the vehicle to me and I arranged for my finance. So by the 10th of April, I was told that the vehicle has been allotted. Here I had one fear. uh, I I asked him that the person who had originally booked the XZ Plus dual tone variant, what happened to him? Why was this not allotted to him? My dealer told me that that person could not arrange for the finance, so we are looking for the next customer that we have in the list. Uh, he told me that, but I had one particular fear in mind. I was afraid if that person had seen this vehicle, might have found some fault in the vehicle, some defect, and then he might have moved on. That was one fear of mine. But somehow, however, one thing that became very clear was it was not right, because the car had not reached the showroom itself. In fact, the showroom people were not even aware of the changes that Tata had made in the 2021 variant, like the removal of the physical buttons from there, the change in the dual tone color. Instead of white, it is gray now. So all these changes they were also not aware because they had not seen the variant itself. So on the day when the vehicle came from Mumbai, it came to the Bangalore and then finally to my dealership. It was coming in a truck and it was unloaded right in front of me, and I could see the vehicle for the first time along with my dealership. And the first thing that I did was to take the VIN number and then find out the manufacturing month and the year, and it was in fact April of 2021. So in the same month I was given the delivery. So that was one reiterating factor. But the bottom line here of all this is, now Tata Nexon has at least a minimum of 3 months of waiting period. In fact, it has probably gone a little higher than that. The only reason I got it is because of a change in the variant. I opted for a higher variant, and by luck, probably, I'm not very sure, I got this delivery. Okay, so the next question that I was asked about a lot is with respect to the on-road price. So I'll just first explain what was my on-road price, where all did I negotiate and got the price reduced, and what has been the price change. However, I'll have to say this is with respect to my state, which is Karnataka. So it might vary from one state to another. Although the difference in price, that is, I think that should be a focus point, which will probably remain similar across all states. So I'll just brief my cost total breakdown. So I booked in the month of February. So at that point, the ex-showroom cost of my variant was 9.96 lakhs. My variant is XZ Plus petrol dual tone. So all these rates is with respect to this variant. So my ex-showroom cost was 9.96 lakhs. My road tax was 1.57 lakhs. So this is the extended warranty, 16,000. Insurance, they had costed 55,000 rupees. I mean, they had pointed out it to be 55,000, 400 rupees for FASTag, and then essential accessories was 0.09, that is 9,000. So overall it was coming to around 12.35 lakhs. Now in this, the areas where I negotiated for a reduction in prices, first mainly insurance. I asked them to reduce because I felt it was very high, so there is a 15,000 reduction here, and I did not take any essential accessories, so this 9,000 is was not put to me. I have made a separate video on all the accessories that I have installed, so that portion I have done it separately, so I have purchased it on my own. So if anybody is interested, please also have a look in that video. And I also got another 3,000 rupees COVID warrior discount from I think government mandated it, I'm not very sure. So my overall on-road price came to around 12.07 lakhs. So I'd also like to point out that I have not taken any AMC, that is silver or gold AMC. Tata also offers those, so service AMC. So if anybody is interested, they can choose this also. Now so actually now I'll talk about the difference in price that has happened. This is across variants, so the price difference almost is similar. So before Jan, I think in Jan Tata increased the price of all variants. So before Jan it was initially 9.84 lakhs. The XZ Plus dual tone variant was 9.84 lakhs. In Jan they increased it to 9.96. Now on I think 7th or 8th of May, I'm not very sure, they have again increased it to 10.13 lakhs. So now this is the breakdown that my my dealership has given me. So I asked them for the current breakdown, and this is what they have given me. See, now some states will not have this additional 10% tax because Karnataka has it. Karnataka has any vehicle over 10 lakhs will be charged an additional 10% tax. So that's why there is an additional 11,000. See, the extended warranty is 16,000, which is same. Insurance is more or less they have charged the same. Road tax, I don't know why it has increased, but it is 1.94 according to them. So the FASTag is 400 and essential accessories is 0.09. So now the on-road is coming to around 12.98, almost 13 lakhs. So it has jumped from 12.35 to 12.98. That's a lot of jump. Now again, just considering we can negotiate in the insurance part, we can negotiate probably with the accessories part, so it might come down to around 12.7 or 12.8. But still I feel this is a significant jump. But this is for Karnataka, so I'm pretty sure it might be even lesser for other states where the road tax is not so high. So but overall this is with respect to the on-road price of my vehicle. So currently my on-road was 12.07, probably now it will be a little more. So because there is almost a 30,000 rupees increase in the ex-showroom price itself, considering, I mean comparing from January, I mean comparing with Jan, there is a 30,000 increase in the ex-showroom price. So the overall price is this. Okay guys, so those were some of the main questions that were asked to me in the comments, which I felt instead of directly commenting, making a video about it would be much better, because I could describe my experience in a more efficient way. So, and also I'd like to point out this portion I'm shooting it in a dim lit time, so that I can show the performance of this light, the cabin light of Nexon. I feel Tata should have provided another secondary light in the middle, because the back seat, if you can see, is extremely dimly lit. So I think one other light would have been very helpful, but that's my opinion. Also, so I have tried to answer as many comments as possible. I have tried to reply to as many comments as possible, and the ones which I felt needed more explanation, I have made a video, this video. So I am planning a few things in the next video. I am looking for, one is the most important is cabin noise. I have a long journey to make, so I am looking for I'm looking at the things like cabin noise, one. The other is the mileage. Third is the turbo lag, because it's a long drive and it includes highways and city driving. So I'm looking at these factors to cover. Also the speaker performance, how these speakers perform with the music, and a few other things things that I have in pipeline. I'll come up with more videos in the future as soon as the lockdown situation ends in my area. So if anyone would want to know anything else or are interested to know anything else, please do let me know. I'll try my best to cover it to the best of my knowledge. So that's about it, I think. Thank you guys, thanks a lot, and stay safe, stay healthy.